A massive whale is taking heavy advantage of this dip. I love how people on X talk about GME. There was just 5 million shares filled on a dark pool order for GME. A massive whale is taking advantage of this dip. $5 billion in cash, no loans on the lines of credit. The short squeeze is bound to happen. Who else is diamond handing this stock? This thing just cracks me up. So GME is going up, and obviously there's no fundamental reason on why it's going up. I mean, the CEO actually just got fined $1 million to kind of add to the notorious just meme of this stock. GME is ripping up. I shorted it a little bit as it pulled on back to the EMA. It's extremely overbought. It's extremely overvalued. It's not an if it will pull on back. It's just the when. I want to remind you, it is a little bit on the oversold side of things when it comes down to its support at 19. Its overbought range right around 23 to 25. So can it rip up higher? Yes. For those that like day trading super risky stocks, this could be something that you could entertain as long as direction is in your favor. Do not be surprised if this thing corrects itself. I want to remind you, the only reason that it's gapping up is due to this BS news. If you are someone that is convinced that you should buy because someone else is buying, because there is a massive whale that just bought 5 million shares, they're trying to sell you the dream. Who else is diamond handing? That should literally be the definition of who else is bag holding the super shitty company that only has any money because of this pump and dump, and they actually locked in profits. So the only people that have walked away making money in this stock are those that actually took profits. So there's a constant theme there because Roaring Kitty and the GME company itself, they only made money as they locked in profits on their own shares at overbought levels to be able to buy as markets corrected itself. That's the only way that they're able to pay off their debt. I want to remind you, do not get caught into the hype of jumping into these overvalued companies within a short period of time. And it's all based off of, well, someone else bought, so obviously they know something that we don't. Well, no, right? Don't be afraid to take advantage of opportunities that you can mitigate and manage. But for you to carry a position like this overnight thinking that it's going to continue to rock it, I can promise you one thing. All they ever do is talk about when it rips up. They never talk about when it pulls on back. They use scapegoats. They're like, oh, it's pulling on back. It's crashing because Wall Street. Oh, they're always finding an excuse on why it's pulling on back, but then justify any reason on why it gaps up. And the reason it gaps up, it's never a fundamental reason that is beneficial for the company. It's a bunch of BS. So on the rips, I love being able to take advantage to be able to short and then buy to cover as it pulls on back. So very excited to follow up. I do have an active short position on NVIDIA. I'm not up very much so far. I'm up about $1,800 on the day. We're testing the moving average and the NASDAQ market looks fine, but it's testing the same previous resistance. So we'll see if we show progress on the upside. If this thing continues to rip up, I'm sorry, did I say I have an active short position? I have an active long position. I have an active long position on NVIDIA. So I'm waiting for the break above the moving average to add more to it to see if we can get a nice rip up. But if not, and we do show signs of rejection, then I will close out my long position and I'll go in short. So there it goes, $1,800 to about $2,000 on the day following my $11,000 day yesterday. Remember, I recap my days every single day, both my green days and my red days, just like I did this week. And I'm happy to show you guys both sides. I'm always here to look out for the beginner, just like originally back in 2020, 2021, when the original GME movement popped off. Everyone gets really upset because these are all the new meme traders. There's one thing that I always made everyone aware of. This hype, this pump will not last forever. GME, just like every other pump and dump, has a 100% failure rate. That is a fact. It's not an opinion, it's a fact. It doesn't care about how you feel or what you think. It's a fact. It sells off every single time. There's nothing wrong with trading it as it's actively showing signs of uptrend, but do your part to take profits. The The only people that complain about GME and the reason it's not pushing up are those that do not take profits. Make your money and bounce and move on to the next one. It's that simple. So very excited to follow up. I hope and wish you guys an amazing amazing Friday. And if you have any questions, again, would love to answer them. Just feel free to leave them down below. And I hope to see you for Monday's live trading session. And that's going to be the second link in the description down below. I trade live every single morning for about 30 minutes to an hour and a half. And if you ever want to tune on in, there's the second link in the description down below. And prices will be going up on October 1st. Appreciate your time. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.